Greetings, Rabbi Aaron Boxt again here for Parashat Shavua. This week's Torah portion is Parashat Balak, Numbers chapter 22, 2 through 25, 9. There are three main sections of this week's Torah portion. Section 1, which is chapter 22, verses 2 through 41. Balak hires Balaam to curse Israel. Balak is a king in the area, and he's hiring a sorceress, sorcery, a seer, if you call him, to curse the Israelites. The second part of this Torah portion, which is chapter 23, 1 through 24, 25, Balaam's oracles and Balak's responses. There are four oracles, and each time Balak has a response to it. And then the third part is called Apostasy at Baal Peor. And this is Israel's flirtation with foreign women and idolatry, and Phinehas's vengeance. So let's begin with the beginning, the chapter of the first part of the Torah portion. Balak hiring Balaam to curse Israel. Balak, son of Zippor, saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. Moab was alarmed because that people was so numerous. Moab dreaded the Israelites, and Moab said to the elders of Midian, "Now this horde will lick clean all that is about us as an ox licks up the grass of the field." So the king of Moab, Balak, sends messengers to Balaam, son of Beor in Pethor, by the Euphrates, and he says, "There is a people that came out of Egypt. It hides the earth from view, and it is settled next to me. Come then, put a curse upon this people for me, since they are too numerous for me. Perhaps I can thus defeat them and drive them out of the land. For I know that he whom you bless is blessed indeed, and he whom you curse is cursed." So the elders of Midian send people out to deliver Balak's message to Balaam. And of course, God visits Balaam at night and says, "What do these people want with you?" And then Balaam tells God that they want me to curse these people that are coming in the land. And God says, "Do not go off with them. You must not curse that people, for they are blessed." So Balaam wakes up the next morning and tells the dignitaries from Moab, "No, thank you. Go back to your own." Balak sends dignitaries again to Balaam. "Please do not refuse to come to me," he says. "I will reward you richly, and I will do anything you ask of me." Balaam replied, "Though Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not do anything big or little contrary to the command of my God Adonai." Well, that night, God visited Balaam and said, "If they have come to invite you, go with them. But whatever I command you on your journey, that you shall do." So they all wake up in the morning. They're heading their way back. Balaam gets on his donkey and goes. But God was incensed at his going, even though God told him to. So an angel of God took a position in the way of the donkey as an adversary. Balaam couldn't see it. Only the donkey could. So the donkey went this way. The donkey went that way. And then the angel of God stationed himself in a lane between the vineyards with a fence on each side. The donkey pressed herself against the wall and squeezed Balaam's foot against the wall. And he beat her again. Again, the angel of God moves forward and stations himself on a spot so narrow that there was no room to swerve right or left. So at this point, the donkey laid down under Balaam, and Balaam was furious once again, beat the donkey with the stick. Now the donkey said, because God opened the donkey's mouth. What have I done to you that you have beaten me these 3 times? Balaam was furious and said, you have made a mockery of me. If I had a sword with me, I'd kill you. Donkey replies, you've been riding on me all along into this day. Have I been in the habit of doing this kind of thing to you? Of course, Balaam says no. Then Adonai uncovered Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel standing in his way. And the angel of Adonai said to him, why have you beaten this donkey 3 times? It is I who came out as an adversary, for the errand is obnoxious to me. And when the donkey saw me, she shied away because of me those 3 times. If she had not shied away from me, you are the one I should have killed while sparing her. Balaam said back to the angel, I did not know you were there in my way, so I erred. If you still disapprove, I will turn back. But the angel of God said to Balaam, go with those envoys, but you must say nothing except what I tell you. So the story continues. We know that when Balaam comes up to curse the Israelites, he says, one of the most important lines that we say in our liturgy, Ma tovu ohalecha Adonai. Look at these tents, O Jacob. Look how beautiful they are. And Balak gets furious because Balaam has blessed the Israelites instead of cursing them as he asked him to do. And what happens after that is, God tells, or Balak says to Balaam, you cursed me. And God manifests to Balaam and puts words in his mouth and says, return to Balak and speak thus. He went to him and found him standing beside his offerings, and the Moabite dignitaries with him. Balak asked him, what did Adonai say? And he took up his theme and said, up, Balak, attend, give ear unto me, son of Zippor. God is not human to be capricious, or mortal to have a change of heart. Would God speak and not act, promise and not fulfill? My message was to bless. When God blesses, I cannot reverse it. No harm is in sight for Jacob, no woe in view for Israel. Their God Adonai is with them, and their kings acclaim in their midst, and so on and so forth. Thereupon Balak said to Balaam, don't curse them and don't bless them. And Balaam replies, but I told you, whatever God says, that I must do. So Balak said to Balaam, come now, I will take you to another place. Perhaps God will deem it right after you damn them for me. Same thing happened. Once again, Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. How fair are your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Israel. Once again, Balaam, to the great stress of Balak, blesses the Israelites. And that is the story of Balaam and Balak, how a foreign dignitary tried to curse us, and a foreign seer or sorcerer actually blessed us instead. Shabbat Shalom.